Hello, welcome back to Titan Wash Tech. We're here in Hopkinsville today where we've been doing some construction. You may or may not have seen the video where we had a bucket driver arrive with more ambition than talent. And now as a result, we've had to take the brickwork off the entire frontage. I thought they were gonna have to do the whole way. They haven't quite. They've stopped here with varying levels of success extracting the old brick. But given we've got lots of dust, debris, construction equipment over here for the next couple of weeks, we're actually taking the decision to do some upgrades. There's a few things that we really want to do to improve the time that people actually spend in the bays. This is a site that just has 3 hoses in the bay. Why people can't put this back, I don't know. So right now we have the high pressure gun, we have the soap brush or the foam brush, and a triple foam gun which does single foam. And our meter boxes, they're IDX, they're old as time, and they really don't make, actually these ones aren't too bad, but the ordering is slightly strange here where it goes from rinse to ceramic to spot free to triple foam. So we're gonna redo this. Now that is a 10 position switch. What we're gonna end up doing is adding a tire brush. So having tire brush, bug and tar, pre-soak, high pressure soap, foam brush, rinse, then we'll have the triple foam conditioner, then we'll have wax, then we'll have spot free, but we do want to add dryers as well. So maybe we have to condense the wheel and tire cleaner and the pre-soak together. So we'll have tire and wheel, then we'll have pre-soak, bug, high pressure soap, basically offset all of these and put the dryer on the end. Because we do have 2 of the air chamois that we want to install here to really just put an hour meter on and see if people want to use them. If they want to use 2, they'll want to use 4, and we'll add them to the rest of the bays. As you can see on the back end, there is no brickwork, so nothing to repair here, even from that big impact. Now, another thing we get to do because we've got all the brick off is there's lights above each archway, and these have been maybe about 100 watt metallic HID bulbs. They're not very good. They look a bit crappy. In fact, they look like this. This one may have an LED retrofit, but I'm not sure. And there's a little bird's nest up there. But either way, we're gonna put 4 floodlights on here. So we'll actually light the lot a lot better. We have to be respectful of the neighbors. We don't want to shine into their house, but the lot here is very dark at night. And this is a great opportunity for us to spend $400 on lights and improve there, which to be fair, will probably be covered by the insurance. So I might have to get the landlord to pay for those as it's the landlord's insurance. Now that we looked at the front of the building, another thing we need to address is problems here in the Ryco. Functionally, it works, which is great because you've seen a few videos where we've been repairing it, but it is 7:45 in the morning and you can just tell how dark it is in here. The camera obviously lights it up better than it is, but it's really not very attractive. So we looked at G&G lights at the show and they are phenomenally expensive. It would probably cost us 15, maybe 20 grand to light this site, and I can't afford that, don't want to do it. But what I did find was on everyone's favorite Alibaba, these 3 lights here, they come to $300 total, including shipping, which is kind of phenomenally priced. They may not have the longevity of G&G, and I appreciate that, but for us to just get in the door with a new lighting rig, and obviously they're remote controlled and you can set them to do whatever you want. This is what it looks like with the light on in the pump room. And, you know, on a darker evening, this is just one of 3 lights. I think it's going to be a really good show. So that's something that we're going to do. We're going to do some slightly jerry-rigged electrics because that's how I roll. But, you know, as you can see, there is rubble around from where they've taken the bricks off. It really just doesn't seem right to open the car wash when there's all this just dust and debris around. They've got more construction to do. They need to take the soffit off, and yeah, it's just gonna be messy. So that's why we're closed. Keep people safe. Well, here's another fun issue for us to deal with. This is the backflow preventer. It does something to stop water backflowing, I guess. It has a relief valve, which as you can see now is dry, but as soon as I crank the main inlet, it just vents, it just purges. And the fun thing about these is they're about $3,500 to replace. So you have to weigh up how long will it take to get a rebuild kit, which is a few $100s, versus how much revenue will you lose being closed for a sunny weekend. These are the fun things you have as a small business owner. Great, lots of expenses. So I'm now balanced rather precariously up in the attic. I just realized that my microphone wasn't turned on for the last couple of videos, which is kind of frustrating. So I'll have to catch you up in a moment. But right now we have the cord posted through here somewhere. We just have to go dig it out and find it. It should be roughly in the middle, about there, I think. Let's go see. I'm actually genuinely surprised. It is exactly where I thought it was going to be, which doesn't always happen when you do things the way I do things. But hey, win's a win. Let's get it connected. Okay, whilst we test this, I've just connected it up with some WeGo connectors, and we'll put that in a box in a moment, but it sure looks like it's working. Let's go see what it looks like. I can't remember if I've shown you our ladder here, but it's kind of ridiculous. It almost goes beyond center on the climb, or beyond top dead center, which is a great YouTube channel. Hello, one light in. That looks awesome. Well, I did a little bit tidy up on the cord, but that works exactly how I wanted. We turn the rest of the lights on so you can see. Our lights are powered by a triggered by a photocell, but we do have an override switch here, which is nice. Don't have that everywhere. Oh, my car is dirty, look at that. All right, even with the rest of the lights on in daylight, one looks awesome. So now that I have a microphone on, you can see that we've attached this to the roof with 3 bolts straight into the joist? I don't know, whatever the wood that goes across the ceiling is called. Really I think they're about 2-inch screws, so it's pretty strong. It's gonna be fine. And then you can see I just ran a step bit to increase the hole large enough to get the cable through. There we go. The lights in here really are bad, but this looks awesome. All right, one last thing is to put these bolts on so that the position, they're like roll position, I guess pitch on this, because of the way we've oriented it, is locked in. Ladder right in the middle of the light. Useful, Simon, useful. We can probably get these hand started. We'll have to get up here and fill in the hole here with some silicone. We'll do it from the top, obviously. Stop water getting up there. One side down. It's amazing what you can do for 3 lights came in at $300, including shipping. Obviously, I'm installing them myself, and it's not a perfect install. I'll be the first to admit that, but in an industry of that'll do engineering, pretty sure this will do. Oh, I nearly lost the washers. Oh, come on now. How can it be in at one end and not the other? There we go. Yeah, we've got to replace these white lights as well, obviously, because it looks a little bit terrible. Okay, so the aerial's attached properly. Attaches to this really weird RF remote. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a grommet on this. All right, so I've gone back up there. It wasn't worth showing you, but I have secured the cable, taped it all up there nicely. It's all clamped. That's not gonna move. Keep it a bit watertight. Not that there's too much water on the Ryko, because it's soft touch. I've also hooked it up to a smart switch so that we can come on 45 minutes before sunset. We can obviously modify that if it's wrong. And it goes off at midnight because we really don't get too much traffic after about 11 o'clock right now. So it'll be interesting to see if lighting it up more for later in the evening makes a difference. But ultimately, this should come on any second. There you go, any second. You know, live demos are fantastic. I said that for a minute and it was obviously about a minute. If you've enjoyed this, stick around because this is only day 1 of our refurb here. Lots more to come in the bays themselves as we wait for the brick to be relayed. We got a stick, air dryer here, I think. Boom to here, handle here. Then we got to come down here and have the tire brush, or maybe over there. We've got to see. We've also got to change all the stickers on here so that it actually makes sense. Try and clean this up a little bit as well. One last thing from today. This is the made in China remote control. It's RF, it's not pretty, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to hack this together with a smart switch, but lots of functions and stuff. In fact, let's go test it. So we're currently in the color jump, and if we hit white, we get white, which looks kind of blue on camera. We get red, and if we hit this one, there we go. Simple. Yes, you could spend $10,000, $20,000 with G&G, but we don't want to do that. Just doesn't make sense right now. When we upgrade the automatic, we might actually upgrade the lighting as well, but for $300, 3 of these lights, I think it's gonna look pretty epic. On to the next task. Okay, we're back on site. It's a little bit later than anticipated. It's a rainy, grey, stormy, potentially tornado-y weekend. So business is gonna be dead quiet, which is great, means we can work on the site. I mean, it's not great that business is quiet, but you know what I mean. We have freedom to turn stuff off, fix stuff, add new equipment. So this is where we're at so far. This is my version 2 of the Dosatron clone. It's currently bolted on here with some fixed plumbing. This is going to be our end cap. I'm going to mount it on the wall over there using these T-rail, which I'm hoping is strong enough to hold it up once it's full of water. Then we have the 2 solenoid blocks. One obviously for the chemical, one for the air, and then it's going to have this pressure regulator, which beat me last time because there was some weird Chinesium to Chinesium issue. We did find one other issue with the plan though. The plan was to use what I thought here were empty slots on the panel. I thought these were spaced such that there was a spare there, and there. Somebody pointed out that yes, actually they're numbered, so that's probably not the case. What that means is we have to jerry-rig, take some functionality away from the site. So right here, these are plug sockets for the site, for the outdoors. We don't use them, we have no reason to use them. So because we don't use them, we're just going to replace them. Ultimately, we'll put a sub panel on down the line, which reinstalls the plug sockets. We have no use for them. They're turned off because otherwise you'd have people charging their phone and all sorts, and we'd be paying for it. Well, we're not a coffee shop. Also, the plan for today is to get the air chamois up on the wall. Got the booms here. Perfect day for it, if I'm honest. Bay 1 is still clear. Oh, somebody's come and dropped all kinds of crap out the back of their truck. That'll need cleaning. But we do have this whole wall here. So what I'm thinking is we center mount the air chamois here, run the boom this way, and then probably have, I don't know. We'll have to work out where the tire brush is gonna go. We've got those to install. Maybe this bit of wall is the best spot because it's clear. I can come down here. We don't have to worry so much about, although we have a boom for this. Decisions. Maybe what we do is we get rid of this boom for here and we do the same wall mounting that we're gonna do for the tire brush. I don't know. I'm not the only one doing this, so hopefully when Rick and Robin get here, we'll come up with a plan. We have to also work on the rotary switch because everything's gonna move back one and get in the right order so that we can have triple foam, spot free rinse, and then the dryers. Not sure why you do spot free rinse and then the triple foam conditioner, but that's how it is when we bought the place. It's gonna be a big day. I'm glad it's a rainy weekend. All right, making progress here. Okay, I've started to make up the wiring for the solenoids. Need longer screws. I've got 40mm screws, need like 45 or 50. Frustrating. Then we have the manifolds for each bay. So this is air and chemical with a little check valve there. No point putting the big expensive check valves on, I don't think. These are rated to 300 PSI. We're realistically gonna be putting like 60 through them. So no big deal there. Two are the same. Then you can start getting to the realm where I ran out of parts. So this one has non-street elbows and nipples, and this one is missing a right leg, but that just means a trip to Lowe's and Harbor Freight, pick up some more tools, because it's always fun to do that. If anyone knows what would make a Coleman pump stand tick like this, it just ticks constantly, I don't know what it's doing, let me know. The tire brushes themselves, we're going with a different style. We're going to use a bit like the foam brushes, 40-inch handle, nice nylon round brush there, not for the paint, definitely for the tires. And then a 25 or 30 foot 3/8 coily hose. So we were going to use these buckets that we used over in Covington before, because they're great just to hold the brush. And then I found these guys on CleanRight, I think, or Car Wash Superstore. Very simple, just push the brush handle in there. Hopefully it's idiot proof, but it's a car wash, so is ever anything really idiot proof? Right, next thing is to do, well, we've got to run to Lowe's, but then we're going to start running hoses and mounting this. I've got to cut it down, mount it on the wall. It's going to live about there, somewhere accessible, but out of the way at the same time. All right, guys, an update for you. It is weathering. Not the nicest conditions to be out at the car wash. We've all parked our cars in the bays just to keep safe. Let me update you. So I have wired this all together, mounted it on the wall using a T-track there, and then hooks so I can just disconnect it and pull it off the wall as I need to. And then I realized that there was absolutely no need to have built that for here. This is gonna come with me to Portland, but we're actually not adding a feature here because we're adding the dryers and we only have 10 positions on the switch. We're actually consolidating the tire brush and the bug off into one function, which means I can still use the tire cleaner manifold, which I'm not going to lie is a bit of an oversight on my behalf, but we will reuse these parts. We've plenty of use for these over in Portland with that terrible Coleman stand with the injectors. So the next thing, nicely, I actually have less to do. I can just go up and connect to the end of these hoses up in the attic, put our manifolds on, and then just run the 3/8 hose down into the bays and actually cut out all the hassle of running the hoses, which is great. It's a bit of a shame that it's still on the polytubing. Chris Atkins would despise the idea. It's actually why I upgraded to some of the hose that's over there. Yeah, it's cut down the remaining job, which is awesome. We've also got the dryers on their way. Oh shit, go. Woohoo, nearly lost an eye. All right, this is our main cable here. We've replaced the breakers on here. We're gonna punch straight up through the ceiling to run the power. And so far, I'm gonna try and not get wet here. Ooh, so far, look at that weather. It's not weather to be up a ladder. We have one dryer in place. We're gonna put the boom here. It's gonna fold this way. And yeah, then it should be really useful. Jesus. All right, time to retire inside. All right, I'm up in the attic. So I am running the hose. It's kind of dark a bit. It's still hot as hell though. And then everything right now comes into this manifold, which is kind of in the wrong spot, let's be honest. It should be in the trough here, but I guess somebody got caught short on lines and it had to move. It's kind of, I don't know, a little bit slack if I'm honest. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take these off here, that's the tire brush, and then we'll connect them up to the manifolds over here. We've already got one installed and working. We'll put the other one in this hole there, and just keep moving. 2 down, well, 1.5 down, 2 more to go. All right, it's starting to get dark here. Sun's going down, lights coming on. Storms will pass through. Bay 1, we now have the dome up. The boom is up there, we've connected it up. It is wired in, so in theory, we can test it. I've angled this so that it's easier for someone to pull out and go with. Also thinking about doing a competition to see how long do you think this will last before someone steals it. All right, in the comments, leave how many days you think I'll be here. Today is, Saturday on Mother's Day weekend. Whoever is closest to when that Bay 1 gets stolen, win a prize. I don't know, let's say $25 Amazon voucher, something like that. We'll come up with something to the value of $25 if you're closest. Hopefully no one will steal it, but also people are terrible, so come into the auto here, it's looking dark. Color light should come on soon. Oh, hello, what are you? Somebody hit you? Ooh, that's slippery there. Also in the bays, we have the tire brush connected up. Got to put the mount on. We need to go and get some different wall anchors, but that's gonna sit there. Gonna be awesome. And in each of the bays, we have the hoses prepped and grab some dinner and then finish this off. But all I have to do up there now is just connect the poly tubes and then we are good to go in all 4 bays. Oh, that's the blower. Woo, it's actually working. actually working. We actually got something working. Woohoo! Good effort. All right, the last things we have to do in here, change the dial. We'll get to that. Put everything back in, and then we can button it up for the day. Probably only another X number of hours left. All right, I probably look awful, but it is coming up on midnight. It's been a very long day here. But alas, bay number 1 is complete. We now have moved all of the functions around, put new stickers on, and yes, air dry is a thing, which is awesome. It's mounted over here. The light works. The hose is going to grow over time. This is holstered in there. Got a sign up, 320 mile an hour airspeed, if you believe that. Fair enough. Good instructions there from Diskin. It's not too over-stimulating as a sign. And we have the tire brushes in each of the bays. All 4 bays now support those, which is awesome. They probably need a little bit of tuning, but it's too late in the day to do that. I'll come back and do that another time. So one problem we had when we were connecting up the meter box was that we were moving the wires around to address the positions, and we got to air dry, which meant we had to have a new connection because 2 of these were actually jumped here in the meter box. And we were connecting the white and green, the white and black, and had 24 volts here, but 0 volts at the other end, and we couldn't work out why. And it was only after about an hour that we realized that there's a junction box behind the pump stand where the control lines on these boxes have just been spliced and they didn't connect up all the wires. They decided that the ones that weren't being used today didn't need to be connected for continuity to the pump stand. When you buy somebody else's car wash, you inherit all of their interesting technical decisions and their questionable engineering. The only redeeming factor is that I know I'm creating some of those problems for the next person because I too like a bit of redneck engineering. We got to, really. It would be boring if you did everything by the book. Hopefully this is going to help improve our revenue because we really need to do that. We have lots of plans. We want to buy more sites, grow our business, and to do that we need to raise more revenue. And we don't really want to put prices up without offering more. So we think by adding new functions, new products, that we can raise the prices. But yeah, it's a quiet night. The storms are gone. Thank you if you got this far through this video. It's been a little bit all over the place, as they tend to be. But I've been up and down the ladder 100 times today. It's time to do the 1.5 hour drive home. Call it a day.